Welcome everyone. My name is Mike Ferecki, and we're going to walk through SameGoal, how to use it to write written education plans, written acceleration plans on the gifted side of things. So Marion City uses SameGoal for writing, special ed documentations and IEPs, ETRs related documentation. We're going to look at the gifted side of things today. So you'll log into the program, and to log into SameGoal, you go to SameGoal.com. You're going to enter your email address and your password, and that will sign you in. If you need your password reset, one of the admins like Samantha would be able to reset your password if needed. When you first log in, you'll land on the Recent tab. You can go to Caseload. That will show you a list of all the students on your active caseload. If you go to All, you'll see a list of any document that you ever had access to within the program. So after logging in, click Students Create New. You'll see an alphabetical list of students from Marion City. Any of the kids that are logged in, that are enrolled in Power School. If you enroll in Power School on Monday night around midnight, you copy into SameGoal, and then Tuesday you could create documents for that student. You can search for a student on their last name, first name, or their Power School ID. If I click on this sample student, this is just one that we use for testing, you can see under Create New, there are different forms that I can create. If I start with a written education plan, it's going to pull the student and guardian demographic information out of Power School onto the cover page. This student 0, it's just all, it's not a real student from Power School, it's just kind of a made up student. But if you choose a real student and create a written education plan, it will pre-populate the cover page with their demographic information. All right, we're going to have just some of the background, kind of the gifted profile here. So were they screened, assessed, identified in these different subject areas? Student interest and learning styles. You can begin typing in here, right? You could say that. I'm just going to make up the student's name. I'm just going to call him Mike. I'll say that, Mike will, or interested in whatever it might be. Okay, there's a built-in spell check, as you can see. You can also use a bank value. So if I click on this phrase, it's going to default in. These bank values can be set up at the district level that all of you can share, or you individually can create your own personal bank that only you have access to. So for student interest and learning styles, if I go to Edit Bank and I click Add, I could type in and I could say bracket name bracket. Whenever you type bracket name bracket, it's going to look up the student's first name from Power School. So bracket name bracket, learns best when presented with information in whatever it might be. I'm just going to say that very simple phrase. When I click the default this in this student's name, you can say it's a sample, but you would actually see like the real student's name pull over from Power School. So if you use gender pronouns, those will automatically update to match the student. So I can say that she, her, click done, and this student is female student, so it says she. If we click on a different student, let's say Asher Jones is just a sample student that I created a document for before. I'm going to unlock this document. Sorry, I locked it previously. So when I click, it says Asher learns best when presented with information in whatever format he. So it's going to look up the student first name and look up their gender pronouns and default them in automatically to the bank. Okay, if I click on this, online, we will monitor your child's needs as the year continues with online education. So some of these bank values have already been built out at the district level, and you're going to have the ability to click on them and default them in. If you want to know how is this document going to print, you can click on the printer icon, go to full document. That will show us a preview of the entire written education plan at this time. It has a draft watermark, right? We haven't locked it yet. We can download this as a PDF. I can go to exit preview, and that will take me back to the WEP. Okay, the next, so I can scroll down or I can click to the next section. The program is automatically saving as you go. So there's no need to save, it's saving as you go. You can see that we have like goal 1 of 3. I'll scroll down, goal 2 of 3. Okay, I can click add goal. This is goal 3 of 3. And you can see there are a lot of goal banks that have already been built out. So if I click on this, it's going to default in. Content area to be addressed by this goal. I'm just going to kind of make some of this stuff up here. You can see anywhere where we have these drop downs. Okay, maybe gifted intervention specialist. If I jump to the signature section, it's effective from, let's say, October 1st. And, we can enter whatever dates we want. These are just kind of sample documents that we created in the past. So let me just up this to, say, October. Okay. You can enter in the 205, the gifted program codes. So if we need to add another gifted program code, we can enter that here. And then to collect the parent signatures, if they're in person, you can always just, let's say you have that meeting on your laptop, you can slide it over to the parents. They can sign, right? Take your mouse and sign. Another way to do that is you go to, this is how Marion City is collecting a lot of the IEP signatures. You go to share. You're going to click share with parent guardian. You'll enter their first name, their last name, their email. It can be a work email or a personal email. View and sign, and you can include a note like, please review and sign the WEP. Click send. The parents will receive an email from SameGoal saying that like Marion City Schools is requesting your attention on this document. They'll click on the link. They will have to verify that they're the legal guardian for the student. Then they'll be able to get in and they can actually sign that document electronically. So the way that works is they would just put a signature section next to where it says the parent. They can click here, type their name, draw their signature, adopt and sign, and they can date that as well. Or wait, not this one. Okay, that doesn't. There's not a date for this signature. That's right. Okay. To view that document, you click on the printer, go to full document, and it will show you a preview of the entire WEP. Right, it still has a draft watermark. To remove that, to kind of finalize the document, you click on the lock icon, you go to complete. It's going to give you a warning, and you'll see that there's one error. So I'm going to say cancel. What is that error? To view the error, to find it, to jump right to it, you can click on this little circle, the check mark. Okay, this is in the regular classroom. At that point, it says no validation errors. You can see this kind of grays out. So it's saying that we've done that data validation. All of the required fields are filled out, dates are within range, everything looks reasonable. So then we can click on the lock, go to complete, and there we go. Now it's locked that document. If I go to the printer and view the full document, we are no longer going to see that draft watermark. So at that point, we're pretty much good to go. Very similar to that, if we want to create a written acceleration plan, click on the student name, go to create new, written acceleration plan, hit create. It's going to connect to PowerSchool, pull any of the demographic information over, and then we just begin filling out this form. You can add acceleration records, right? Placement, strategies to ensure a successful transition. So you can see that a lot of these bank values have already been built out at the district level. So you can just click and they will default in. I'm just kind of making some of this stuff up now. For the parent guardian signature on the written acceleration plan, it works pretty much the same way as the written education plan, where you can go to share with parent guardian, add them. They can click on that link on their phone, their home computer, whatever it is, follow the link, and then sign that document. If you ever need to attach a PDF, let's say you have some test information or a signature page, whatever it might be, you can go to attach, browse, select that PDF and upload it, and it's going to attach that PDF to the document. As you're creating forms for students, it's adding those students to your caseload. So if I go to caseload now, you'll see some of the students that we've worked on recently are added to my caseload. The way to get a student on your caseload is you either create a document for that student or someone transfers a document that they created to you. So let's say I was working with Asher Jones, but if Samantha is going to be taking over for that student, I can click on Asher, select these documents, go to share, transfer owner, and then if you enter the first couple letters, the last name, I can say, okay, I'm going to save, and it will actually take those documents, move them off my caseload, and make that new gifted intervention specialist or whoever you select the new lead teacher. You typically don't need to really share documents with an admin because they have access to all the forms for all students. But if you want anyone else to be able to access this, so like if you're kind of co-teaching or you have someone else that needs access to work on this form with you, if it's going to be collaborative, you can go to share, you can search and you can find someone, click on their name and click save, and it would add them to those documents. All right, so your caseload is going to be a list of students that you've created documents for. Now, when you transfer them off your caseload to a new teacher, that will remove them. Also, if the student graduates, transfers, withdraws out of PowerSchool, that will automatically archive them. To find a student that's no longer actively enrolled, you go to Students Create New, select Include Inactive, do a search, and any student that you see that has this little person icon, it's going to tell you like, okay, this kid transferred out, this kid graduated, so that's where you'll find those. All right, as you're working in the program, if you have any questions, you can click in the upper right-hand corner, click next to your name, go to Help. Sorry, I'm presenting from my laptop, so I'm having to kind of like move screens around, but if I go to Help Desk, you can contact us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. You can email help@samegoal.com. Before you do that, if you'd like, you can check out the online guides, the user guide. We didn't have a ton of time today, so we had to walk through these topics pretty quickly, but it takes about 2 to 2.5 hours to walk through the user guide, self-guided. You're just watching videos, basically. So how do I create a new document? It's a 1.5-minute video. So it's going to, you can watch that video and then you can read through the steps. So that is under, if we're logged in and we need to get to the help desk, the help guide, I should say. Here, let me go back. Sorry, I've got the Zoom meeting here. There we go. So you click next to your name, you go to help. Help desk is, call or email. If you go to online guides, go to the user guide. That's going to walk through how do you upload an attachment, how do you create a new document, how do you share it, how do you, create banks, etc. Okay. So let's see here. If I pull up the student, in addition to the written education plan, written acceleration plan, there is the WEP progress report. Some districts use that, others don't. If you are using that form when you create it, it's going to pull the goals out of the WEP. And then you could have up to, your quarterly or 4 reporting periods. Some districts only use 2. Some districts don't use the progress report at all for gifted. So it's kind of up to you. Okay, a couple of other features that are helpful. Over on the left side of the screen, this left menu bar, it's going to show a list of all the students that you're working with. If you want more space or kind of to conceal that list, you can take this left menu, drag it, you can drag that closed. So that's what we call meeting mode when that is closed up. That way you can just hop into, let's say, a written acceleration plan, and you could walk through this without, if it's up on the screen, or screen share without showing all the other students on your caseload. Another nice feature is this little chat feature. If I sign into chat, it's going to show me a list of all the other folks that are logged in Marion City. You can click on their name and send them a message. So that's a good way to communicate as well. Okay, the deadline tab is definitely, it's used a lot on the special ed side to see when evaluations and IEPs are coming due. But if you have any documents that are coming due, like WEPs as well, it's going to alert you on that calendar to say, hey, this document's coming due, that document's coming due. But it only takes documents that were written within SameGoal into account. So, at least for the first year, there's kind of that transition process. So recent caseload all. Okay. I think that's all that's like a quick, we didn't have a ton of time today, but that's a quick high level overview of getting logged into the program, finding students, creating documents, holding meetings, locking those documents. Thank you all for watching.